got some news regarding the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving again has been fined, Nate, $35,000 this time for refusing to talk to the media. So basically the league issued a statement and Kyrie Irving also issued a statement. So I'll quote both of them. I'll start with the league. The league said first, and I quote, the fines result from Irving's repeated refusal to participate in post-game media availability. So that's basically all the league said. And the NBA does require healthy players to be available upon request to reporters before and after every game. And throughout the season, Kyrie Irving has declined several occasions to talk to the media, including from ESPN to talk about the loss that the Nets received from the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday. And Kyrie Irving also made a statement. He said, and I quote, I pray we utilize the fine money for the marginalized communities in need, especially seeing where our world is presently. I am here for peace, love, and greatness. So stop distracting me and my team and appreciate the art. We move different over here. And then he added, I do not talk to pawns. My attention is worth more. And this year, Kyrie Irving, again, he is averaging 27 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists. Before I pass on to you, Nate, the source for this article is Malika Andrews, ESPN staff writer. So your thoughts on Kyrie Irving getting fined again for not talking to the media, Nate?
First of all, obviously we talked about this back, I think it was in December, before the season even started. So, if I can find that video, I'll link that in the description down below. I'll say this, okay, Mario, and I was just saying this before we put on the before we started this video. I really don't think you should be forced to talk to the media. I feel like that should be your choice and your choice alone. I do not think the league should require you to do that. I personally believe that if you feel like you want to talk to the media one day and you don't want to the other day, fine. If I ask Harry Irving to talk about this and that, and he says he doesn't want to talk about it, I'm not going to force him to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the league's rules are the league's rules, and you do have to follow them. But I do understand why Kyrie doesn't want to talk to the media because, again, the media is very well known for stirring up controversies. They're known for asking very stupid questions. We've seen it many, many times, and they're pretty funny too. But still, they're still pretty stupid questions. They're very self-explanatory. Um, the controversy part. Some people want to ask you questions to try and get you to say something that can stir up a controversy. You get what I mean? So I do understand why sometimes Kyrie doesn't want to talk to the media, but at the end of the day, the rules are the rules, and you have to follow them whether you like them or not. It's how you get paid. You signed it on the dotted line, and that's what you gotta do. Simple as that. That's really the best I can put it. But me personally, I personally don't think league should force you to talk to the media. If that's something you want to do and you do it alone, that's your choice. But hey, I'm not the one that makes the rules. That's just my opinion. But with that being said, if I'm Kyrie Irving, even though I don't like it, I gotta follow the rules so I can stop getting fined. Because again, I signed on the dotted line. I have to follow these rules. I comply to it. I gotta do what is required for me on my contract. You feel what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I can understand why he's upset and why he doesn't want to talk to the media. But again, gotta follow the rules. So with that being said, best of luck to Kyrie Irving if he can figure this out. And that's really all I can say about this.
Look, Nate, I'm in college right now. I'm in my sophomore year, same as you. I've taken many, many media classes. I've taken many, many journalism classes, okay? I am very aware of the situation with journalists and media. I understand that, okay? And I do agree with you like 90% of the way there. There's a little 10% that I don't. So let me explain. So I absolutely agree with you. Athletes in general should not be forced to talk to the media. They really shouldn't be. I completely understand that because it is their right to speak. If they want to speak on certain things, they shouldn't. If they don't, then they shouldn't. But here's the thing, okay? The other 10% that I disagree with you with is just like athletes play in the court to provide for their families, the journalists, they do their job to support their families as well. Being a journalist, Nate, it's not easy. It really isn't. And let me explain. Because journalists, when you first start out, you're not making a lot of money. Same thing with reporters, you might be making more money. However, again, it is a very hard profession to get into. And sometimes, some days, it requires you to ask the tough questions. Journalists, I'm going to be honest, Nate, they're not there to be liked. They're there to get the news. It's as simple as that. Now, again, obviously, there are stupid questions that the media is asked. Like, I remember when the one guy asked Russell Westbrook, did the Jazz win this game or did you guys lose this game? Like, that is a dumb question. Obviously, it was both. They won the game, Jazz won the game, and you lost. That was a dumb question. Um, and obviously there have been times when journalists try to push their luck too far, like when the guy when one of the reporters asked LeBron James what was going through J.R. Smith's head, and LeBron James kept telling you, "I wasn't in his head, so I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. You have to ask J.R. Smith that. I do not know." And he kept asking, and LeBron kept giving the same answer, and it got to the point where LeBron was getting frustrated to the point where he got up and left. So the media definitely has its experience of pushing the luck. I'll go to a perfect one, Nate. Ariel Hawani. I go to UFC for a lot of examples, but the reason why is because a lot of the stuff we talk about, the UFC does it. Okay, Ariel Hawani is probably one of the most well-known MMA reporters out there. Okay, Ariel Hawani does not have, in the beginning of his career, did not have a great relationship with Dana White. He didn't have a great relationship with a lot of fighters. They were a lot of them always came at him. You get what I'm saying? But again, as a reporter, you have to ask the right questions. Now, did Ariel Hawani test his luck? Yes, but there were some questions that he had to ask to get the news. It's as simple as that. So I completely understand. I completely understand what Kyrie Irving is talking about regarding journalists and media and reporters. Asking questions that he just doesn't want to answer, and he shouldn't have to answer them. I completely agree. I think that's a very I just think that rule is very unnecessary. However, journalists and reporters, that's how they make their living. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Athletes probably don't even want to do post game interviews or pre game interviews. So if they were, so think about it this way, they'd probably still do them. But if it wasn't required, there'd be a lot less athletes doing news. And if a news story came out and they decided not to comment on it, then how are these reporters and journalists gonna end up posting the story and getting and providing for their families as well? You know, this year I've had my journalism class. My professor, she worked at a news station. She worked at a news station. She was writing the scripts and everything like that. The year before, my professor for journalism, he worked for like Time Magazine, People Magazine, all that type of stuff. There's gonna be times where you gotta ask people questions that they may not want to answer, and they're gonna get frustrated over. But you have to because that is a part of journalism. So again, I do understand what Kyrie Irving is saying, and I completely agree. But at the same time, these journalists and these reporters, they still got to make money as well to support their families. But again, you know what? I understand. I'm glad. The one thing I want to point to on this, Nate, is what Kyrie Irving said. He said, "I hope they can use this fine money for good uses, for marginalized communities and certain issues that need to be addressed in this world." I completely agree with that. So with that being said, again, I like Kyrie Irving. I never really even had a problem with Kyrie Irving, even though obviously like he said some stuff like in the past that people don't agree with, or he's done some things in the past people don't agree with. I never really put that against Kyrie Irving. I do think he is one of the most skilled players in the NBA. I do like watching him play. It is very entertaining. So with that being said, I wish Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets the best of luck, even though I don't have to because they're the Brooklyn Nets. But I do wish them the best of luck. And again, hopefully Kyrie Irving can just follow these rules so he stops getting fined and they don't got to keep dealing with this.